February 9th, 2019, and we're blessed in the studio today to speak with the noted author and writer of our time whose views are shared by many and some are outlandish and vilified by lots of people. I want you all to welcome Mr. Will Hicks, our author and lecturer for the day. How you doing, Will?
I'm all right. How you doing?
I'm doing real good today. Things are well with you?
It's very
How's the
good.
family?
I guess they're all right.
All right. To open up this discussion, we're going to talk about expectations. Well, what are your expectations for life? And if you would further expound on it, what are your expectations in a relationship in addition to your own expectations?
Well, I got this mic, so I'm good. Expectations over the years have changed for me. I mean, at this point, my expectations, they aren't low, but I just don't have many of them. And I say that simply because I think I've simplified life to the point where all the other things really don't matter. And for me, keeping it simple is just family, health, finances, and continuing to grow spiritually. Learning how to create that village that I need, and I think my family needs. Those are pretty much all of my expectations in a nutshell.
Outside of that, when you are involved in relationships outside of the family, how do your expectations change, or if they change, with relationships that would be in the form of a girlfriend or a wife?
Well, they really don't change because life doesn't change. If I'm looking to date someone, I'm looking to add to what I already have and not necessarily change what I have. The person that I date would be in addition to the values that I already have that was created in me, that's been passed down from grandmother, mother to myself, because the apple don't fall far from the tree. And so whatever I'm doing and whoever I'm doing it with, whether family, friend, it doesn't matter. The same values I have, I'm not changing those values just because I'm in a quote unquote relationship, because I do have a relationship prior to having a female-male relationship. I've already had one with my mother. I have one with my sister. I have one with my aunts. I have one with my father. I have one with my neighbors. So I expect the same of all people that are in my inner circle, regardless of what you call it.
So let me get this straight. So what I'm hearing is that you want in a boyfriend, girlfriend, or marital relationship some of the same things that you see mirrored with your mother, or you want a carbon copy of your mother?
No, I don't want a carbon copy, but I want the same values. I want the same traits. Someone that's, as they say in the old times, kind of give and take. Someone that's considerate. Someone that looks out for you in the same way. Someone that would do for you without asking. You don't have to bargain. It's a give and take relationship. The same qualities that my mother have, I would want basically all women to have. Not necessarily to treat me in the exact same way, but within the same presence of mind state, within the same presence of the spiritual aspect of it. And so it's going to come out different with each person. So you look for certain values that you cherish, and when you see those values in other people, whether it be male or female, I draw closer to those values.
Is it something that you consciously seek after, or is something that for you it has to be there from the jump?
When I was younger, no, because I was chasing other things that were not necessarily important, maybe like sex, money, other things like partying and good times. But as I matured, and I brought forth those things that brought me to where I am and who I am. Yeah, those things have to be present because now I need good conversation. Now I need to interact and relate to you in a way that's different. As a man looking for a female, whether friend or intimate, it can't be just about looks. It can't be just about what you have or don't have. It has to be tied to something greater than superficial things. And those are the values that I was referring to earlier.
So would you say your expectations have changed over the years, or have they become more simple in terms of what you already have experienced, as you already said, with your mother, with your father, with your sisters and brothers and your neighbors? Have they how much have they changed?
Well, my expectations hasn't changed. It's just those things that I seek have changed, and I've seek to simplify the things that I seek. As before, looking for a good time, instead of going out to a club or whatever, I can enjoy the conversation, which holds me just as much as going out to the club does. So now, instead of seeking as much nightlife activity or as much superficial things, I've cut those things out to simplify it to just the things that matter to me now that I'm older. Not to say that I don't go out, or not to say that I can't go out and have a good time, but it's not in the foresight of what I seek to do. It's just something that I may do from time to time.
Are you or do you actively seek relationships that you can develop? Thinking more in the sense of an older man, younger woman, or a younger woman, younger man, older woman,
Hmm.
or older man, younger woman. Because of course, the levels of expectations would certainly, I would think, be different.
Right. No, not really. It's the same. Whether it's an older person or younger person, if I'm dealing with you, whether you're older or younger, you still have to have certain values. Because maturity isn't determined by age. It isn't determined by, okay, if I'm dating someone in their 40s and someone in their 30s, they still have to exhibit certain level of values and maturity in order for me to deal with you. And just because you're older is not to say that you have matured in your life or that you are on a certain level where I can deal with you. Maturity is not determined by age. It's determined by how you've developed yourself over the years and the things that you value as well. So older or younger, I mean, yes, I prefer a younger woman because I'm trying to have kids, you know.
Chicky chicky, huh?
Well, they all get chicky.
They all get their fair share of the chicken.
Oh, everybody get chicky. An old tree produce fruit and a young tree produce fruit.
But I'm sure you are aware, and we'd like to know your thoughts. Particularly in some cultures, the relationships are already picked out by parents
Yeah.
for their children, and the statistics tend to show that those relationships really last a long time.
I don't think it make a difference because I think in a unspoken way, the way you're raised, the way you're brought up, that's going to determine who you pick. So instead of the parents picking based on the values they have and you being a younger person and not knowing who they pick, if you take those same values and adopt them within yourself and you become one with them, you will pick someone of similar values, if not the same values as your parents would have. The only difference would be how they look.
I hear you saying or repeating values all the time. Is that something that you think is the most important factor in terms of building relationships outside of the family relationship?
Well, Your values is high on the list because that determines what you do, how you do, when you do, where you do. If you value just sex, you go after a woman in a certain way. You treat her in a certain way. You interact with her in a certain way. And if a woman values sex in a man, aka gold digger, is much different than a aka church girl. They both have values. It's just that they are quote unquote valuing different things and what they're trying to get out of the person. So yeah, values do make a huge difference. And there are many other factors as well. But if you don't have any values, then a person that don't stand for anything, will fall for every and anything.
I often hear from women and callers do call in. The 1-800 number is 555 bite me, BITME.
And that would be a wrap for the first topic. I'd be damn.
Dial 1-800 bite me.